This video tutorial is I refer to as Spotlight. It's what they say the format or the idea is in Photoshop. They use this format to highlight part of an image that you believe when you viewed it with your camera you didn't require the flash, but the details of the forward subject wasn't highlighted enough. So this one they call Spotlight because you can actually bring up that little part that the camera missed. So what you do, you make a new layer, transparency, and you go to your mode button and you change to overlay. You go over to your paintbrush tool and you change your color to white by this little switch here, and then you choose a fuzzy brush usually because it stops you going over the edges too much. Now you can leave it as the settings of your brush as it stands. And of course I'll need to enlarge the size of the brush to cover the statue here we're going to work on. I'll increase the scale using the scale button there, and that's about right. Now I can change the opacity of my brush from this slider here, and it's a good idea in some cases, but in this case I won't, because you can, once I've done the job, I can change the opacity up the top here and change it the way it looks. Now with the overlay, this allows me to blend the two images together, so the white will blend with the underneath image, but it won't touch the lower layer, it'll just blend with it. You can see now I can highlight the image as it but that the camera missed. You just go around and highlight all your image. You can see now why I chose the fuzzy brush. In case you go over the edge and you highlight a little bit of the background, it may have a little something dark in the background. And of course you repaint all around your image and bring it to light. You can see now that this format of doing something, you don't increase the value of the whole image, but you can change the value of where you're working. Of course you can paint all around there and bring out the highlights of all that around the side there, and the brickwork on the front. It does a very good job. I took an old slide I had of a little girl standing in a zoo with a background, and the old camera, the girl was completely blacked out, and I tried it with so I scanned the image in and tried this method, and it brought all of her details out in the image. So the method can be used as long as there's a dark area. I'm just spot touching there, and you can see now that it's quite good in its highlighting. And of course why I say you can change the brush opacity before you start, if you know what it will be. That's not too bad around there now. Just a little bit of the stonework there. And you might say to yourself, well, that's all right, but what if the image is excessively dark and you can't do it with the one stroke of this pen? How do you darken the pen? Well, it's quite simple. All you do is duplicate the layer. Just watch the image as I duplicate the layer. You can see now that duplicating the layer is given it twice the amount of colour, or white. Now it looks excessively too much like stone now. It looks a little bit false, and this is where the slider come in up here on the opacity. You can turn the opacity down and bring it down to an opacity that you feel that suits the image at the time. A little bit there. No, it's just part of the shadow of the image. And that's how you use what is referred to as Spotlight. You can change the appearance of an image that's been underexposed, where you should have used a flash, but your eye told you that everything was all right, but the camera seen it differently because of the background was brighter than the object in front of it. And so, as I stated, you can change the opacity. That's if you brighten it up too much by using the duplicate the layer, and you just bring it down till you feel that that's where it should be. And then of course to finish the job, you right click the top layer and you can flatten the image, just bring it all together, and that's the job completed, which is referred to as Spotlight. Thank you for watching, and rate the video, and visit my channel. You will find a link to a web page which will give a PDF for a printout of this tutorial. Thank you for watching.